Hi, Sam Procrastinates here. As for my favorite Sega game, I have to go with Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the Sega Genesis. This game started it all for me. Not only was it my first video game of all time, it is my favorite video game of all time. The high-speed action, the super fast loops. I remember one of the first times in the game I was able to like outrun the camera in the original Genesis. My head almost exploded. I could not get over how fast and how smooth the gameplay was. I instantly fell in love, and it is the game that made me fall in love with Sonic the Hedgehog.
My favorite Sega game is Persona 5 Royale. The game is a huge emotional journey, and the cast of characters are all amazing and special in their own way.
I think it's pretty obvious what my favorite Sega game is. I remember when I was in college playing it, I actually wasn't going through the best of times, and that game kind of redefined my life course. It made me really passionate about video games again. It made me want to pursue a career just in gaming, but also community management and content creation.
For me, it's Sonic 2. Main reason is that I've got a ton of memories surrounding this game. A friend and I would just buy any magazine we could get our hands on just to see the latest screenshots of the game. And when Sonic Tuesday arrived, I basically ran out of school, caught the bus into town, got to Woolworths where I'd reserved my copy, and in return for reserving it with them, they gave you this free pin badge, which I still own. And that's why Sonic 2 is my favourite game.
Binary Domain. Aside from the fact it is a legitimately fun game which you run around shooting robots, it's actually trying to ask a lot of really important questions. It's got something that it wants to say in relation to the philosophy of what exactly is life and what point should you stop giving something rights and basic human freedoms. It presents this question to all facets of human life and civilization, and I love it when games do this, when they give you what seem like simple ideas and questions but are actually a little bit more complicated the more you think about it, and Sega games have been really good at doing that, and Binary Domain especially is a really good little game that has a lot of really important things that it wants to say.
My favourite game is Ristar. It's not pronounced Ristar. And basically I love it because it's a game where sort of like you just have one action, which is stretching your arms, which have wrists on, by the way. It's very versatile. You can bash against enemies, you can hang off things, you can climb up ladders, you can actually hit yourself against the wall to climb up them, and you can swing on handles and go whoosh. You okay?
My all-time favorite Sega game is Jet Set Radio Future for the OG Xbox. Why? The music is a bop, the characters are so fun, the graphics were mwah, chef's kiss, and ahead of its time.
Sonic 2. It'd have to be Sonic 2. For me, the reason why I picked that is it's a little bit emotional and a little bit nostalgia involved, but I was working at Sega at the time, and the Sonic 2 launch was just epic. It was fantastic. It felt really like we're part of a big team, an international team, you could say, and it just felt like we're part of history, gaming history. We knew it at the time that this was going to be something big, and it's a game that a lot of people from that era remember very, very fondly, and I'm just glad that I was a part of that launch in some small way.
My favorite Sega game is none other than Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution. VF4 Evolution is a great fighting game that I love playing, and it had a very robust tutorial mode that not only taught you how to play Virtua Fighter, but it taught you how to play fighting games in general.
Space Channel 5, of course. Ooh la la, singing and dancing and fighting aliens. I mean, that's drag. I love Space Channel 5. Space Channel 5 is just, she's that girl.
What is my favorite Sega game? It is Streets of Rage. The Streets of Rage series is one of my favorites because of the music and the gameplay.
What's your favorite Sega game and why? So my favorite Sega game is probably going to be Yakuza Like a Dragon. I have played that game full well through, beginning to end 3 times now. I love the systems, I love the characters, I love the story, it's got a great message, it's just so good. It is one of the best RPGs that's been made in the last couple decades, and I will not apologize for loving it so much.
Now, if you were to ask me a couple of years ago what my favourite Sega game was, I would jump straight to Sonic the Hedgehog 2. But that has changed. and my favorite Sega game is Yakuza Like a Dragon.
My favorite Sega game is Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, and it's because we got to play as Shadow the Hedgehog, the music in the game was absolutely amazing, and we had Chow Garden. Chow Garden was incredible. I mean, being able to do Chow Karate, Chow Race, and even just raising your Chow in general was just so much fun to do. So yeah, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, fire game.
Favorite Sega game. I'm sure all of you know this, but my favorite Sega game is Shenmue. It saved my life. I went through an incredibly bad back surgery, and literally I just didn't want to be in this world anymore because of the amount of pain that I was in. And Shenmue saved me. I looked at Ryozuki and thought, if he can survive, I can survive. And that's what kept me alive. And I will always be indebted to Sega, Yu Suzuki, Cory Marshall, everybody that was part of that.
Well, to surprise absolutely no one who knows me, Shining Force 2. Only Shining Force does what this series does. It's so unique. Fully explorable overworlds with hidden items, NPCs, and chests. A visual allegory to growth built into the UI. Stunning battle cutscenes that never overstay their welcome. Blistering pace of play for a strategy RPG. It's just unmatched in so many facets that I love it forever and ever and always. And this is top. Chippity top.
Mi juego favorito de Sega es Sonic 2 para Master System, aunque en mi corazón caben muchísimos otros juegos de Sega, como Altered Beast, Wonder Boy 6 o Monster World 4 o Street of Rage, entre otros muchos otros.
Mi juego favorito de Sega es Sonic 3 and Knuckles, que es la versión completa de Sonic 3 cuando lo ensamblas a Sonic and Knuckles, porque básicamente es la fórmula definitiva del Sonic clásico.
My favourite Sega game is, of course, Shenmue. Its world, its characters, its story was unlike anything I'd ever experienced. The graphics, the extreme attention to details, with things still being discovered today, and experiencing Japan for the first time in this way goes back to how I define Sega in one word. It was the stuff of dreams.
And for me, it is Shenmue 2 all day. The world, the music, the atmosphere, the storytelling. It's not just my favourite Sega game, it is the best game of all time in my book. Superb work there. Amazing.
My favorite game of all time is Skies of Arcadia because it's the game that really made me fall in love with RPGs. It's a game that has a great story, great characters, great all-around everything. I enjoyed the ship battles, I enjoyed the fights, I enjoyed everything about that game. That game changed my life and changed how I looked at games.
My favourite Sega game of all time has got to be Sonic 3 Knuckles. In fact, it's my favourite video game ever, full stop. The balancing of platforming and speed, the alternate pathways in all the levels, the different aesthetics per act, the amazing soundtrack, the multiple playable characters, the ability to tell a story without any sort of dialogue. I could talk all day about this game, it is amazing.
My favourite Sega game is Sonic Adventure for the Sega Dreamcast. This game ultimately changed my life and solidified my love for Sonic the Hedgehog and his friends. There's so many characters you can relate to and have as a friend throughout different aspects of your life. Whether you want to goof off and fish with Big the Cat, you need a strong female friend like Amy Rose, or you're looking for a way to shape your own destiny like the other characters all do in their own way. This game has grown with me as I age and remains my favorite video game of all time today.